If she got elected, this country is going bust. If she got elected, we're going back to 1929 depression. It would be a disaster.
Dave Ramsey is not a political guy. I heard him say on the radio one time, I could not get into politics because I'm too honest, I'm too blunt, and I would just tell these people to keep your dadgum hands off of people's money. Okay? That's a good way to fix the country right there, is keep your dadgum hands off of people's money. And he was talking about the federal government, of course. And he was like, I'm too blunt. I can't be a politician. And now he's doing an interview with Donald Trump. And he even said tonight, whenever he put the video out, when I watched it tonight, he even said this video is probably going to piss some of my viewers off. And I'm okay with that, because this election is so pivotal. So much is at stake with this. And I can't agree more with Dave Ramsey on that. I cannot agree more. Let me get into this. The reason Dave Ramsey is so focused on this is because the common person is getting hit so hard with bad politics coming out of the Biden administration. And it's just true, folks. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, or whatever you are, independent. It doesn't matter. You would have to be blind not to see what is going on with this country. It is overruled, overregulated, overtaxed. It has just run this country into the ground. Ever since the day Biden come into office, it is shut down, add regulation, shut down, add regulation, open the border up, let all the illegals come in, handouts left and right to anybody and everything that he can possibly do. If you could imagine a more American last president, tell me who it is. Because Biden is the definition of an American last president. And people are supporting him. I can't fathom it. I just absolutely cannot understand why he would get any support. President Trump should have the entire country supporting him. He should have the entire world supporting him, because the world follows the United States. When you see a failure of leadership in the United States, you see a failure global wide. It's true. You can see it right now. Harris was not even elected in the primaries. She had like, what, 1% when she was running for president? She had like 1% support. And now that Biden has dropped out and endorsed Harris, she's supposed to be the greatest thing that ever was? No. Go back and look at the debates. Go look at the primaries. She had 1% of the support of the country. No one liked her. The only reason that people like her right now is because of political party lines. Not for what she is or what she stands for. It's because of her political affiliation. That's it. They want to keep the administration rolling. They want to keep the machine going. You know, go back and listen to Pink Floyd, Welcome to the Machine. That's not what they were talking about in that song. They were talking about the music industry. But it fits with the government, because that's all this is let's just put another figurehead in place and keep the machine rolling. I mean, that's all Harris would be as a president. But anyway, under Trump, we had no wars. No country invaded another country. No country invaded the United States. The United States was not at war with any other country. We were essentially at peace. We were minding our own business, and we were growing as a country the way it should be. Keep your eyes on your own paper. You ever heard that? That's what we were doing. We were going to work, and we were taking care of our personal finances. We were taking care of our country, and we were not worried about other countries. The other countries were doing their thing. We were doing our thing, and everything was just rolling right along. Putting an America First policy into place and watching it grow. Right? That's what we did under Trump. Look what we've done under Biden. Russia invaded Ukraine. Gaza invaded Israel. Hezbollah invaded Israel. Now, on top of all that, Iran has invaded Israel. And the Biden administration is just sitting back, oblivious, doing nothing. They're not taking care of this country, and they're not supporting our allies. They are doing nothing. This is not a leadership. This is a lack of leadership. The manager is off duty. That's what we've got in this country. The manager is off duty. But anyway, we've got to change it. I mean, it is absolutely vital that we must change it. In my personal opinion, it will get worse under Harris. Not better. Not leveled out. It will get worse. She had less than 1% in the primaries. She has no plan. She has no future. She has no outlook. And when you put, a person like that in power, that has no qualifications to be in power, that you're replacing someone that has no qualifications to be in power, you're going to at the most, get the same. You'll at the most get the same. In the least, we'll get World War III. And that's not hyperbole. That's factual. It's going to continually get worse. Why she has even 1% of the support now is beyond me. That's what Dave Ramsey was talking about in this video. It's not about what you're promising to do, it's what you will do. And what she will do is fall asleep on the job just like Biden is. Exactly the same. Even worse. Dave and Trump pointed out that lower taxes and lower regulations spur growth. Dave Ramsey pointed out that the government doesn't create jobs. Small businesses, small owners create jobs. I parked my owner-operator truck under Biden. It was parked. I personally know of 3 owner-operators. Just in the last month, 1 is no longer an owner-operator. 2 are on their way out that are just hanging on by a thread. And you read about businesses and bankruptcies every single day that are shutting down. Businesses going into bankruptcy and shutting down. It's not good. It's not good under Biden. Why do you want more of the same? Why would you even think about wanting more of the same? Regulations skyrocketed in the trucking sector under Carter. Carter called it the deregulation of trucking. Actually, what it was handing the keys over to corporations in trucking and said, here you go, do what you want. It spurred the growth of major corporations in trucking. Since 1980, the likes of Swift and J.B. Hunt and Warner and all of these companies that are on Wall Street have exploded in growth. I'm going to show you in future videos after this how their peak has come. Their peak has already got here. They're on the downswing. They're falling down. I have said so many times on this channel over and over again, if you work for a major corporate trucking company that is on Wall Street, you need to get out. You need to get away from that company. You need to find something else. If you're a new driver, if you're inexperienced, hey, that's fine. Get your experience, get better, try harder, and go somewhere else. Go to work for a smaller company that actually cares about you, that actually cares about the growth of the country and the growth of trucking. These big corporate trucking companies only care about their growth at whatever cost it takes. Basically, what I'm saying by this is if you take the rules and the regulations that the federal motor carrier has imposed on small trucking companies, take the illegals out of the country that are destroying the trucking industry, bring back the way that it used to be with trucking, you will see tremendous growth in trucking. Just like what Dave Ramsey says, the government does not create the jobs, the small businesses create the jobs. Okay? There is way more small businesses than there are mega corporations. Have you ever heard the term the one percenters? The one percenters are the corporation heads. All the rest of us are the worker bees. We should be a grassroots movement and build from the bottom up, not from the top down. It's the way that the United States has always worked. What happened in 1776? We rejected the corporate head. If you want to look at the monarchy of England, that was essentially the corporate head. Once they got rid of the corporate head, you saw tremendous growth in the United States. It's the way that it's always worked. It's the way that it always will work. When you get rid of that overruling, overbearing, overcompensating, over-regulation, you get growth. The Democrat Party is not about that. The Democrat Party is about the top down. They will tell you they're the party of the people, but then they go do the opposite. They will say, well, Trump is rubbing elbows with the one percenters. No. What Trump does is he goes to the bottom and says, okay, let's go to work. Let's build something. This election is not about Democrat versus Republican. It's not. It's not about Democrat versus Republican. I keep talking about JFK. JFK was a Democrat. If JFK was running in this election cycle now, I would be saying go vote for JFK. And he's a Democrat. It's not about Democrat versus Republican. It is about honesty and truth versus lies and corruption. That's what it's about. It is about whether this country stays a constitutional republic or it turns into something else. We're well on our way of it turning into something else. We're well on our way. It is time that we throw the brakes on, we turn the wheel, and we go in another direction. That's why I keep comparing this back to JFK's presidency, because that day he got shot, right after that, the brakes went on and we went off in another direction. And we've been going off in that wrong direction ever since. It is time that we reverse course and go back to the way that it was and then start moving forward in the right direction. The only way we can do that is to put somebody in charge that knows what they're doing, that gives us the ability to do what we need to do. You're not going to get that from the Democrat Party. You're not going to get that from Biden. You're not getting that from Biden. And you won't get that from Harris. It's not going to happen. It's just common sense. That is something that I learned from my mom. My mom was not a very highly educated lady. She was a very Christian lady, but she wasn't a highly educated lady. She quit school in like 3rd or 4th grade to help her family out because she had so many brothers and sisters. What she learned through her life was common sense. Some people call it the school of hard knocks. You try something once one way, it doesn't work, and you learn from that. So you try something else and it does work, and you say, I get it. That way didn't work, this way does work. That's the definition of common sense, people. That's the definition of it. What are we talking about with this? What was Dave Ramsey and Donald Trump talking about? What worked under Trump worked. What works under Biden doesn't. It's common sense, folks. It's just common sense. That's all it is. That's what Dave Ramsey says on his show. We teach finances like your grandma would teach your finances. The old school way of doing stuff, not the modern way of doing things. Go back to what works. Use common sense. It's not hard. It's not hard to look at where we are now and compare it to where we were under Trump. I have no doubt in my mind if Trump was president now, If Biden's presidency would have never happened, if Trump was president now, I would still be an owner-operator, and I would be way better off than what I was under Trump the first time. That's just speaking out of common sense. It was going, and it was going good, and it was getting better. And then all of a sudden, Biden come in, threw the brakes on, and shut everything down. And he's made it worse on top of that by letting all the illegals come in. Common sense, folks. Common sense. I am going to try really hard on my next video to put this information out. It's probably not going to be just that video. It's such a long subject. It's probably going to be several videos from here on out. There is a chart, and I'm going to put the chart up right here. I'm going to put a picture of the chart up right here. This is detrimental. This is the end of the United States right here. It is possibly the end of the world with this chart. I am going to go into full detail and explain what this chart is, what it means, what it's about, what it stands for. And you will see it's not just the Biden administration. This has been going on, like I said, really ever since the end of World War II. But it really changed course at the end of Kennedy's administration, when Kennedy was killed. That's when it really ramped up and went crazy. And we can't sustain it, folks. We can't sustain it. Look for that video, and I'm going to go into detail. Hopefully a lot of people will tune into it. Hopefully a lot of people will do it, will see it, because that is one of the biggest things that I will talk about on this channel. It is one of the most important subjects that I have ever talked about on this channel. Hopefully a lot of people will look at it and see what it is and see how absolutely vital it is that we must change this country. Thank you all for watching this. Go watch Trump and Dave Ramsey's interview. I'll see if I can put a link to it down in the description. Just type in Dave Ramsey, Donald Trump interview. It'll pop up. The last time I looked, it had like 1.3 million views. It is just absolutely viral going out there on YouTube. It shocked me. It shocked me to see Dave Ramsey do this, but man, thumbs up to Dave Ramsey. Thank you for stepping up to the plate. You're doing good. And he said he also invited Harris on to do an interview. That would be an epic fail. I don't think she'll do it. I really don't think she will do it. I don't think she has what it takes to come on and do an interview like that. But if she does, it will be an epic fail. It will show so many holes in her ideas and thought process that, I mean, it's going to be ridiculous compared to Trump's. With that being said, if you would like to come on Trucking and Politics and do an interview, a guest segment, we have done a couple so far. I'm still offering it. It's still out there. Anybody that wants to do it, I will put my email down in the description. You can come on. We can talk. We can interview each other, pick each other's brains, whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about old school. We can talk about the future of trucking. We can talk about the way trucking is now. We can talk about politics, good, bad. Hey, if you're a liberal, come on. Bring your ideas on. Let's talk. In the meantime, Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, the share button, and put this video out to anyone. Watch it over and over and over and over again. Get as many views as I can. Get it out there. Get the information out to as many people as possible. We're Trucking in Politics, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.